Automated webinars are actually the way to go? What's up, guys? Jason here, aspiring entrepreneur, showing you everything I'm doing to build an online business from scratch, taking you A to Z to setting up a webinar sales funnel and to sell coaching and consulting on the back end. And in today's episode, number 26, I'm going to talk about automated webinars. So if you're just joining me, make sure you subscribe and hit that like button if you get value out of this video. Because as a subscriber, you're going to get weekly updates of everything that I'm doing to build this online business from scratch. I'm sharing my successes and my failures, and I'm really not holding any punches back. And this video is going to be a perfect example of that, because I'm going to be talking about why I decided to switch from doing live webinars to automated webinars, and why I think everyone else out there who's just getting started needs to do automated webinars. Now, several episodes back, I did a breakdown of live versus hybrid versus a completely automated. And long story short, I thought a live or a hybrid would be the best way to go. I went through all of the webinar softwares out there. I even chose one. Since I'm going to bash on a little bit, I won't say the name, but I chose one. I set it all up, and I got to tell you, signing yourself up for live webinars every day of the week. Like, I think I took Sundays off. Sundays I said, you know what? I'm going to take Sundays off. But as a budding entrepreneur, as solo entrepreneurs, we don't have a giant team yet. Doing live webinars is just way too unreasonable. Now, obviously, this is my opinion. Maybe you don't mind running on 5 hours of sleep a night and not being able to do anything else other than sit in front of a computer during those webinar times. But I'm going to break down now the top 3 reasons I think you should start with automated webinars and not with live webinars. So reason number 1 is simply scheduling. Okay, when you're putting together your webinars, you need to offer multiple webinar times. And this is going to get into one of the other ones in a second, reasons in a second here, where you have to have enough times where people can actually sign up. Because if they're going to come to your landing page and you only have 1 or 2 webinar times, well, then if those times don't work for them, you're going to lose a lot of prospects and leads simply because you don't offer enough times to watch the webinar. At the same time, you don't want to sign yourself up for doing a webinar every 2 hours. Then you'll get no work done whatsoever. And I found that I set it up so I would do 2 webinars a day. And even with that, even though I thought I could schedule everything else around it, I still work part-time. And with family and friends, it was just insane trying to put together a schedule to where I could actually show up and be ready to answer questions. I was doing a hybrid webinar, so the first part ran, and then I was supposed to come on the end. And after a month of just being on that hamster wheel, I can tell you I was completely exhausted. But more important, I didn't get other work done on my other side. So scheduling, a big issue when you're just getting started with the live webinars, especially because reason number 2, which is where I'm going to go into now because of reason number 2, and that is advertising. Right? When you're just getting started, you're running Twitter ads, Facebook ads, Instagram ads, PPC through YouTube, or what's the other one? AdWords, whatever you're deciding to do, that takes a lot of time, especially when you're just getting started. So not only are you trying to show up 2 or 3 times a day for a live webinar, you're also trying to optimize your ad campaigns in addition to everything else you should be doing to keep your business running, right? So it's really hard to focus on the webinar and driving traffic. And so reason number 2 for why you should do an automated webinar to get started is you need to be putting all that time into optimizing the front end of your funnel. You need to figure out who your ideal target audience is. You need to be figuring out what landing pages are working, what ads are working, and you just don't have the time when you're signed up for those live webinars. And then reason number 3 is cost. When you're just getting started, depending on the software you're using, it's going to be really expensive to run live or hybrid webinars. So when you're comparing different softwares out there. Check out the channel. I compared quite a few. There's quite a few options out there. You've got Webinar Jam, you've got EverWebinar, you've got Stealth Seminar, you got Webinar Ninja, you have GoToMeeting, and then you also have, I'm actually going to add ClickFunnels to that list, and I'll give you a quick tip about ClickFunnels at the end. But essentially, it's really expensive to get a live webinar system set up and running, especially when you're still testing traffic. Remember, reason number 2, you should be focusing on traffic. So to summarize our 3 points, we have number 1, scheduling. It's an absolute nightmare. You're probably starting this business because you want more free time, not less. And while this is all still work, it's really hard when your work begins to start to focus on particular points in the day, and then you're kind of glued to your desk or your laptop. It's not, you can't really run a live webinar, while you're out in a coffee shop. You have to be home in a quiet place with a good connection, ready to go. So that's number 1. Number 2, the ads. You need to be spending more time optimizing your landing pages, figuring out the front end of your sales funnel. All that time and energy needs to go there, not being ready for the live webinar or hybrid webinar if you're doing it. And then number 3 is cost. There are a lot of affordable webinar systems out there, but they all cost a lot more than simply doing an automated webinar. For example, you can use something like Webinar Ignition, which is just a WordPress plugin, or use the ClickFunnels system, which is what I recommend, that's included in their $97 a month. And then you've got your landing page software and your webinar software all wrapped into one. And it also includes, of course, the emails that need to be sent out. So that does it for the core content of this video. I just wanted to share that with you. My lessons learned of trying to be on that hamster wheel of providing live webinars multiple times a day. And really just in the grand scheme of what's important, I think once you figure out that front end of your sales funnel, once you have actually made a couple of sales, it will justify the cost of setting up and running live or hybrid webinars, and it will also justify your time because you will have optimized so much where you can show up and actually have people come on. Because let's face it, when you're just getting started, the first couple of weeks, nobody showed up, right? I would sit there and I'd see people had signed up. So I would have to sit there, and it was a hybrid webinar. I'd just sit there and wait and be like, okay, well, if they come on, then I have to be in the chat ready to answer questions, which from a customer service perspective is excellent, right? Because you want to be learning about your customers, your prospects. So being able to hop on that chat and chat with them live is great while that hybrid webinar is rolling. At the same time, when you're just getting started, nobody's going to be there. You're going to be sitting there wondering, hey, did that one person that signed up for the webinar, are they going to show up? And sometimes they do. I had one where he showed up the 5 minutes I went to get a drink. It was like, okay, I've been here for an hour. I don't think this guy's going to show up. So I'm just going to go grab some, milk and a quick snack, and I'll come back. I came back and he had logged on. And of course, I wasn't there that literal 5 minutes. So then he left, and I was like, okay, well, great. Now nobody's going to show up. So all that to say, I highly, highly recommend using automated webinars to get started so that you can focus on that front end of your funnel. You're not signing yourself up to be on a hamster wheel, and you're not putting out a tremendous amount of upfront cost in terms of having a live system run for you. And of course, my recommendation for that is ClickFunnels, because ClickFunnels actually has a automated webinar feature in it, and it's great because it has that automated webinar feature, and you get everything you'd ever need with a landing page builder as well. So it's not like you're just paying for specific webinar software. You're paying for a complete package that you can use for all of your marketing stuff, including membership sites. So that's why I definitely recommend ClickFunnels, affiliate link below if you want to learn more about that. So thank you for watching. I hope you got some value out of this video. If you did, go ahead and hit that like button and subscribe to the YouTube channel for more business building and marketing tactics and strategies just like the ones I talked about in this video. On my YouTube channel, in addition to my vlog of aspiring entrepreneur, I think we're on episode 3 or 4 right now, I am walking you through step by step and almost on an OCD granular process. If you've been watching me for a while, you know that I'm a bit OCD, where I'm showing you literally every little step to take to put together a online business. So this is the no BS, raw, uncut version of what it actually looks like to put together an online sales funnel. It's a lot of work. I mean, we're on episode 26 and I'm still talking about, setting up the webinar. I'm still figuring that out. I've got a lot of great content coming for you guys about YouTube advertising and Facebook advertising as well, using Facebook video to drive traffic. I've got all of those things coming, so make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel because we are going to go through this entire process of putting together an online business. It's my goal that by the end of this series, as you watch my channel, you will never have to buy a how to make money online course again, because you're just going to be able to watch these videos, use me as your guinea pig to what works and what doesn't, so that you can be successful faster. Of course, quantify, you still have to work. It's always work, right? So I'm starting to ramble. I'm going to let you guys go. Thank you again so much for watching. Hit that like button, subscribe, and until the next episode, keep building the business you love. Take care.